Warriors NRL Fanatics here, back today with a video. And yeah, I'm going to get into my review of round 7 Melbourne Storm versus the New Zealand Warriors Anzac Day clash from last night. Now, I was going to do this review last night, but I wasn't home, so I thought I'd do it today. So yeah, let's get into it. So what can you say? There's not much to talk about of the game, but I'm going to go through it. So we started off the game pretty, I thought we started off all right for the first couple of minutes, but Melbourne, they got on the scoreboard first through George Jennings. It was a pretty soft try, to be honest, but Melbourne, you know, they score and they go up 4 points to 0. And then we hit back 32 minutes into the first half with a try to Ken Mamalo. Yeah, great try there. And yeah, we're only down 6-4, so after that, you know, I don't understand this call. It was a completely, absolutely shocking call by the referee. Look, there was nothing in this tackle from Josh Curran on George Jennings. Josh Curran gets put on report and placed on the sin bin, and he goes for 10 minutes. And for me, that was an absolutely shocking call. I mean, you know, there was nothing in that tackle. There was absolutely nothing. And, you know, from that point on, 20 minutes, we were 20 minutes in, and, you know, it was only 6-4. We were well in that contest. We were well in the game, and that was a big changing moment in the game, in my opinion. And that was a huge changing moment because from there on, Melbourne Storm, you know, they went on and scored a couple more tries, and, you know, they scored a try through Jerome Hughes. They scored a try through Remus Smith, and they were up at the break by a very big margin. It was, I think it was 32 points to 4, I believe it was, at half time. So from there on, you're thinking, you know, it's just going to be a very, very tough second half. And, you know, we came out of the second half. I thought we started all right in the second half. We started all right, and Ben Murdoch-Masila came out and he scored and showed a little bit more urgency in defence in our game. And yeah, we scored a couple more tries in the second half. We scored a try from Murdoch-Masila. Also, Kenny Mamalo scored a couple of tries as well, you know, just to make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. But, you know, in the end, Melbourne Storm, you know, they rolled through in the whole second half, and they went on to win the game 42 points to 20 down there at Amy Park in Melbourne. That was the final score in the end. So, you know, we scored 20 points. I thought, you know, you wouldn't say that too often, scoring 20 points against the Melbourne Storm, but we were a little bit more braver in the second half. I thought we were a little bit more braver, but, you know, there was a couple of, I'm going to mention it, there was a couple of times, you know, Cody Nikorima, I don't know what he was doing in the game. You know, for me, now you're only seeing your halves leader there. We had Bailey Sheridan playing the halves. We had a whole different team. We had a lot of changes, a lot of injuries. And, you know, I don't think Cody Nikorima stood up. I don't think he had a good game at all, to be honest. And for me, I'm going to say it now. It's time for Cody Nikorima to be dropped from the side altogether, or come off the bench and play as hooker. That was my initial thoughts. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I thought, why not play him as a starting hooker, or play him off the bench, or don't play him at all, because Cody Nikorima in the halves hasn't stepped up at all this season. And I also thought the Bailey Sheridan halves experiment did not work, in my opinion. I thought that was a bad move by Nathan Brown. But, you know, with the changes we had to make, you know, I understand why he had to do it. But, you know, I thought, why not? Why don't we play someone like Walsh in the halves and, you know, keep Roger at fullback? I thought, you know, Reece Walsh, you know, to me had a great game on debut. He was absolutely incredible. He had a great game. And, you know, the future looks bright for Reece Walsh because he did an absolutely stunning game against the Melbourne Storm. Not an easy opposition to come up against, but he did a great job. So I will do a little separate video on Reece Walsh after this video, but I thought he played well, and I thought he was one of our best in this game. So, and also, you know, Rocco Berry, I thought he had a pretty decent debut as well. So congrats to both Reece Walsh and Rocco Berry on their debuts for the Warriors last night against the Melbourne Storm. Now, the person I thought that stood out in this game And that has to go to Jerome Hughes from the Melbourne Storm. Jerome Hughes was absolutely outstanding, you know, carved us up. He was absolutely incredible, Jerome Hughes, and he was the man of the match in general in that game. So Jerome Hughes for me was the man of the match for me against the Warriors. So yeah, what can you say? Melbourne, you know, too good in the end. And, you know, going into this game for me, I did not have many expectations at all about a result. You know, all I wanted to see was how would we test ourselves? How would we go with all these changes? Can we still stand up and, you know, take it to Melbourne? But, you know, the scoreline suggests we couldn't because it was 42-20. But what can you say? Melbourne, in Melbourne, we're always going to be tough to beat. And, you know, hopefully, you know, it sounds like it that Nathan Brown said in the press conference that we will get a few players back next week, which will be a huge boost to have a few players back from injury because, yeah, the start to the season hasn't been good, and with all the injuries, it's not helped at all. But it's no excuses in the end. But you know, we need to do better on the field. But what can you say? It's always a tough one. But yeah, that is my round 7 review between the Melbourne Storm and the New Zealand Warriors. Congratulations to the Melbourne Storm on the win. They deserved to win the game in the end. They were the better team, so no question about it. They deserved this result. Warriors, back to the drawing board. Next week is against the Cowboys up there at Central Coast on Sunday afternoon. I will be doing a live reaction to this game between the North Queensland Cowboys and the Warriors and the New Zealand Warriors on Sunday afternoon. I will have someone jumping on for a preview. I might be getting Nick from Australia on for the preview between the New Zealand Warriors and the North Queensland Cowboys on Tuesday. So make sure you tune in for that preview. And also some more videos to come this week as I get straight back into the work and do a lot of content for you guys. So yeah, that's my review, like I said, of the round 7 game between the Melbourne Storm and the New Zealand Warriors. Let me know in the comment section below. What's your thoughts on the game in general? How do you guys thought Reece Walsh went in his first game for the Warriors? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button as well on the video to show your support for these videos. That'd be much appreciated. Click that like button. Also, don't forget to also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. The goal is to get to 500 subscribers by the end of this month. So let's get to 500 subscribers. At the moment, the channel's at 460 subscribers. So if you aren't already, consider subscribing to the channel. Please consider doing so. And also, I'll see you guys in the next one.